Hey, this is Taylor with Believe in the Run, and I'm here with Jeff Colt on Superstar. I'm just going to say it that way. And also to tee it off, I've been thoroughly whooped by this guy multiple times. Cirque Series, Jemez, Mountain Run, like...
That's such a good race.
Oh, wow, such a good race.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk about On.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of these shoes around at different events throughout this year. Prototypes of this one on your feet, many others. And when we show it on media, I get comments like, is that an On shoe? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to say it, On has not been playing a major role in the trail scene for a while.
You're teeing me up so well.
Athletes, but here we are.
Yeah.
Give us this next generation. Give us a rundown of what you got.
Okay, I've been running with On since 2020, and since 2020, the date has been 2025.
Okay.
Of like, we're gonna make our splash and trail in 2025. Okay. So, as an athlete for the last 4 years, anytime someone's like, Jeff, you run for On, like, what trail shoe do you like? What have you been running in?
And you can't tell them.
I've been running in this, yeah, and I different prototypes and versions of what we're calling the Ultra Pro. So for me, it's huge to be able to say, yeah, I'm running in this product. It's now commercially available, and do I believe in it? Like 100%.
Yeah.
So I got to work on this product from the early stage prototypes all the way through to what we have here in my hands. There's only one thing that remains with the Ultra line, and that's the name.
Okay.
This is the Ultra Pro. This is the Ultra 3. You might know the Ultra and the Ultra 2. I would say both of those shoes, they've had success. They're a little bit more in the like hike run space. Everything is revised with this shoe. And I'm gonna start on the bottom with the Mission Grip. This is a totally different rubber compound than on those early iterations. It's incredibly tacky. It works really well in wet, slick conditions. It works really well on, faster Colorado dirt trails. I took it on Falling Waters, Franconia Ridge Loop back in New Hampshire, which is notoriously steep and wet. And I'm like still in prototype phase before the 2023 UTMB. I'm literally videoing, telling the engineering team, like, Antoine, I can't slip. And I was just so fired up. Yeah, so fired up. So new rubber compound, really, really grippy. You'll see this center channel and this fork. The fork here is actually kind of showing that the plate that's in this shoe is a forked plate. So it's going to allow for variable foot strike on different terrain without actually forcing the entire shoe to cantilever or kind of tip. Additionally, this center channel mixed with the clouds, these clouds look smaller from the sides. If we go into the center, they actually get wider and deeper inside the shoe. What that means is for such a tall 38 mil stock height shoe,
and what's the forefoot?
So narrow through the midfoot, this shoe, when you're actually rolling on it, it collapses in on itself and it hugs the foot really nicely. So it provides a really stable platform for being 38 down to 32.
Okay.
So 6 mil drop.
And traditionally, a lot of trail shoes will do that with some or other stability mechanisms.
Yeah, I mean,
or
we are a lot.
So this is the
narrower,
cloud actually doing its job.
Yeah, a lot narrower through the midfoot than some of the other trail super shoes on the market. If we see Helian HF, that means it's our super foam. So there are different densities of super foam, but Helian HF, we have 2 different densities here. We've got a PIBA, and then down below we have a TPE, so a little bit denser below the nylon fiberglass plate. So early iterations were carbon fiber. It wasn't the right fit for the shoe. It was a little too stiff.
And is this the same plate that's running here, or is it 2 separate pieces?
Sorry, it's one plate. So the orange you see is the plate. This is just kind of showing that it's a pronged plate. Moving on from the foam, we go into the upper. And with the upper, you have a completely static material. It's a really progressive design. It's really lightweight, which is wonderful. But for a higher stack height shoe, again, with a narrower width, you have an upper that's really going to hold the foot tight in position. More of a conventional heel cushion. Not quite needed to go to like the kind of road super shoe, minimal heel cushion. It's really comfortable. everything around this shoe was designed for efficiency. So let's look at the 100-mile distance, Western States, UTMB. The thought was not like maximum return always. It was, let's make this a really comfortable shoe to actually stride in. So you don't see this huge rocker, but you get a really nice roll through from both the dual density foam and, again, this ability to kind of collapse in on itself. So Ultra Pro, we've had 2.5, 3 years of prototyping to get to this point. Athletes have been running in it now for just over a year and a half in races. It's an exceptional shoe, and you said it, like on showing up in trail in a very intentional and meaningful way. In 2025, this is that showcase piece.
Okay. And is this your piece just for race day? Are you bringing this out on certain types of trail runs?
So
where does this show up in your training?
When I've had this shoe, it's been, Jeff, put as many miles as you can in this, send it back to me. So like get 350, 400 miles in a shoe, I'll ship it back to Zurich. My Western States this year didn't go as planned. It was kind of a sideways race, which ended up being kind of nice because the 2 pairs that they sent me for the race, they were like giving me some space and they didn't ask back for it. They didn't ask for them back. So I'll train in this shoe longer. Like I wouldn't treat it quite like a road super shoe in that maybe it's like 2-3 runs a month type deal. I'll do 2 runs a week in this shoe pretty comfortably. When this shoe comes out though, there's a reason I'll end up in a year putting more miles in the Ultra 3 probably than the Ultra Pro. And some of that is this shoe, the foam, the super foam's gonna wear down or kind of lose its life a little bit quicker. This is still a redesign, very different from the current Ultra line. It's way more similar to the Ultra Pro. Got a 32 millimeter stack height.
It's different.
Yeah, so 32 mil stack height, a little lower to the ground. I think for faster races, I would say for like Cirque Series, I'd probably lean toward this. The foam densities, you've got Helium HF up above and then a more standard EVA below. The plate is slightly softer. It's still a same shape and still nylon fiberglass layout, but stiffer foams, slightly softer plate, lower stack height. I think it's a shoe for everyday training runs, long run, and then maybe faster, like in the 50K race, or just something more technical.
And it's much more moderately stacked for trails.
So still a 6 millimeter drop, still a really, really nice upper. These shoes drain incredibly well.
They look so breathable. You can see right through them as we're looking at.
That's a big thing. When we were working on this at the 2022, 2023 Western States, was just like, guys, I need a shoe that like if water goes in, it's gonna all pour out. Like Gore-Tex, is that right? Don't give me stuff I don't need. Trim it down, make it so that it's gonna work really well for the athletes. The Ultra 3 is still gonna do that.
So thinking of this as not necessarily just your daily trainer, good option for a variety of trail, a variety of distances, paces, but this is your ultra race day shoe.
So targeted for UTMB and Western States, really made to be an efficient shoe for that 100-mile distance.
And when can we expect to see this?
June 19th of 2025, so the week before Western States, the shoe will launch.
And price point?
$260. And the Ultra 3 will actually be a little bit later, July 3rd, and $190.
All right.
So these two are kind of the Ultra line. Also keep your eyes out in the future for more uphill, short course oriented, speedier trail shoes. So a lot to come from On.
And will that other shoe come 2025, or are we going to wait until 20?
You've got to be patient on that.
That sounds good. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us. Tell us all about